Alright, sorry about that. Had to pause for a second to make sure that I had enough hard drive space for the rest of this game to record. Took me a second to get all that stuff figured out, so yeah, unfortunately I don't have that big of a hard drive on my laptop. It's just full of random stuff, MP3s, what have you. I don't even know. I went through and deleted like a bunch of stuff. It seems like filled up my hard drive pretty quickly regardless. I think it might have been Rosetta Stone that I installed. Take up a lot of space. Anyway, regardless though, Valkyries are out. Valkyries are out, and this is possibly bad for Zero. I'm trying to recollect. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to get my head back in the game here, see where things are, because it took me a few minutes to figure things out there with the hard drive and everything. Mutalisks are out. He's actually switching over to mech again, by the way. Defiler Mound is already up. Floating those barracks out into the map. They're really good for spotting, making sure you can see all on the map. Here comes some Scourge coming in. He might try and pick off those Valkyries. He picks off 2, but there's still 2 left, and those Mutalisks forced to flee, loses a couple Mutalisks while he's running. The Valkyrie's giving chase. And oh no, he stopped his Mutalisk, so he's, oh no, he's gonna lose another Mutalisk and take some major damage on the other. Scourge coming in though to defend those Mutalisks. And he chooses just to go after the one. He is gonna take out that one Valkyrie. Other one's going to be defended by those Marines there. So third base stands for the moment. He's got a nice, lot better defense than he did in the previous game against Vultures running in and what have you. Got the Lurker on the ramp and what have you. And what have you. I'll say that a few more times. Lots of factories going up for Flash now, though. He's definitely switching over hardcore into mech. But Zero, getting up another hatchery in his main base, he's going to be able to put out a lot of units very quickly here if left unchecked. He might even think about getting that expansion on the bottom left. Here's the Mutalisk charging in across the top, it looks like. Trying to do some harassment, maybe trying to find those Vultures. There they are. He's going to pick off at least one Vulture. Nope, maybe not. Maybe the Vultures are going to get away. Man, so many, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 factory. A 6th factory going up right now for Flash. And he's not going to be producing any more Medic Marines, basically. He's just going to be going all mech units at this point. And Flash producing a couple more bases right now. This is exactly what he did in the last game. You know, he did a 2-base pressure for a long time. Really got everything going, and then just switched up into his macro mode and started getting bases and bases and bases. He's got his 3rd up, he's getting his 4th up, probably going to try and get a 5th up at some point. Wow, another Evo Chamber. 3rd Evo Chamber going down for Zero. So he knows he's going to have lots of upgrades going into the late game. He's going to need... Well, I mean, the Carapace won't really matter as much, actually, against the tanks and what have you. I guess it'll matter against... Oh, no! Whoa, runs in his Mutalisks. The Scourge take out some of the Valkyries, but all of his Mutalisks die. Oh, no, that was huge. That was a horrible thing. That last Mutalisk flying out with 4 hit points on it. Wow, loses all of his mutas. That was really bad. He wanted those to have around for the later in the game. I mean, they're just handy to have for hunting down Vultures primarily. That's the main thing you want them for, but they're also good if, you know, if there's a drop or something like that, you can run them. They're very mobile. So that's actually pretty bad. Of course, he can get Scourge out for Valkyries and for dropships, but it's going to be difficult. Flash going in here and assaulting this top left base, this kind of 11 o'clock base, doing some damage. Is going to get driven back by the Lurkers there, but Siege Tank's now pushing into the bottom left base, and he does have a Defiler there, crunching down a Zergling. Crunching out, you know, it's interesting. They make a crunching sound, like they're eating it, but you know, they swallow it whole, so they don't really need to crunch it if they're not chewing. Anyway, oh, Zergling, oh, almost dragged some mines into that tank, but it clears the path for the Lurker. Unfortunately, there's no swarm. There's the swarm going down for the next Lurker. Again, holding things back just barely. Just barely holding things back. and the tanks are forced to fall back just slightly under the fire of those lurkers. Another base going up for Flash. Like I was thinking, he just, once he starts expanding, he does not stop at all. He just keeps making bases and bases and bases. And, oh no, Overlord's gonna get caught a little bit by these turrets. Look at this, Flash even putting turrets outside the bottom left base so he can stop Zero from even getting a drop off, and a drop would be a perfect thing to do right now. You know, get some Zerglings out on the map, try and get some drops going on, and try and do something like that. Here comes some Zerglings running in, and oh, Zerglings trying to distract. They can draw. Oh, they do draw. I think they drew mines into those tanks. Nicely done, killing off a couple tanks. Is it gonna be enough though? Another swarm goes down, but the splash damage is gonna be too great, I believe. And actually, those Zerglings get tempted out from underneath the swarm as well. Zero is so smart. He's one of the few players that I've seen that actually runs those Zerglings out in front of his army. So smart. Runs them out in front of his army to absorb shots from the spider mines. Spider mines. There's a lot taking up the expansion at the top right, making sure Zero can't sneak an expansion. Flash with so many troops here. He's got such a huge economy right now. This is getting disgusting. Now Zero does have the 3 bases in the top left and the 2 bases in the bottom left. So if he can hold on, he can theoretically match Flash in economy. If he can get enough of army together to clear out this contain. Some Zerglings running in. There's nothing there to really protect those tanks from the Zerglings, so they do get a couple tank kills. 3 more tanks coming in though. He sieges up, and it looks like a scan went off, so he's able to push those lurkers back. This is actually really crucial. This bottom left area is crucial for Zero. If he loses control of this, he's going to lose both those bottom left bases and basically the game. So Flash is putting a ton of pressure on down here. And, oh no, some Zerglings suiciding in. They got, oh no, he's getting, oh, they're running in, and oh, a lot of lurkers getting smashed. Absolutely slaughtered by the siege tank fire. Almost no defenses left for Zero. He's going in with some Zerglings. Last ditch. Couple swarms going down, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I'm sorry, my voice is... I haven't been casting it much lately, so my voice is... it doesn't have the endurance it usually does, and so voice is already going out after only a few games here. But Zero's in deep danger. Look at... oh my god, there's like a dozen siege tanks there. That is going to be so tough to break. There's no stash of queens to come in and pop all the siege tanks this time. This would be a really good chance for it, but he's been spending his money on defilers instead, and the defilers have not been doing as much damage as they could. The swarms haven't been really protecting much. Once you have so many siege tanks like that, swarms just don't do very much because there's so much splash damage underneath them. It doesn't even matter. So running with Zerglings, swarms going down a little bit late after all the Zerglings are already dead, and Zero doing virtually 0 damage to those tanks despite losing a ton of Zerglings. This is looking really bad for Zero. Oh no, siege tanks running in here, and he's got to mount something really quickly. I don't even see any reinforcements coming in from the north. Zero, he's just mounting them all through that Nidus Canal if he needs them. 20 tanks on that, 20 kills on that siege tank to Master Sergeant. Anyway, Nidus Canal goes down. There's no way he can reinforce this anymore. A few more Zerglings running into those swarms. Drones coming off as well. Overlord can do nothing. He's trying to drop drones, I think, on top. And Zero with a sigh is gonna eat GG's. Zero GG's. And Flash has won the game. And oops, I accidentally clicked on the next video. Flash takes the MSL again. Absolutely epic. I'm sorry for anticlimactic visuals here at the end, but wow, Flash absolutely dominating Zero, 3-0. Beautiful, beautiful play. And Zero, you know, he played well. He played his heart out. He played pretty well. He didn't really make any mistakes, but Flash is just so much better that Zero just could not stand up to it. So anyway, very, very disappointing series for me. I was really rooting for Zero, but he does come away with this from this with a silver medal. So there is that at least. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say, man. I'm really, really disappointed. I really wanted Zero to do well, but at least he did make it here to the finals. Finally, finally got to the finals after so long getting to the rounds of 8. And, I mean, he got to the round of 8 so many seasons in a row. It was ridiculous. Anyway, a round of 16 at least. Kind of like Stork, you know. Gets a decent ways into all the Star Leagues, but never really does too far. So it was good to see Zero here in the finals, getting a silver medal in the MSL, finally getting some solo recognition. And Flash getting his umpteenth medal, Star League medal. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. GG, and take care. And yeah, I know I haven't been doing too many Brood War commentaries. By not too many, I mean like I've been doing hardly any, like once a month basically. Actually, it's been a couple months, so I apologize for that. But you know, it's just too hard to follow both StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 scenes at the same time. And I've got a little bit more invested in StarCraft 2 scene right now, since I'm actually having some moderate success there. So anyway, I owe it all to my Brood War fans. I know that, and I appreciate that. I won't forget you guys. I'm going to try and do more Brood War commentaries, you know, at least once a month or something like that. But again, no guarantees. I'm not sure, you know, how that'll work. If I'm going to be doing more GSL stuff in the future, I don't know if it'll be okay to do more Brood War stuff or whatever. Anyway, but we'll see. We'll try to at least put up some videos every once in a while, Brood War related for you guys. And in the meantime, of course, there's a lot of other commentators who are strictly Brood War. You know, Nuke the Stores, Deja Vu, Varosh, I believe, still does stuff. And there's this guy called Sale, who I haven't actually heard much of his stuff, but he was doing some live commentaries. I don't know if he actually does anything anymore because I haven't seen much out of him lately. I haven't been watching. But anyway, point being, if you want Brood War, there's still some people around doing Brood War stuff, so you can enjoy them as well. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. GG. Hope you enjoyed the series. Take care.